As the state works to permanently shut down the Heights Crematory, it's expected the first lawsuits will be filed here in Illinois, alleging mishandling of remains. Meanwhile, a man who sent his mother's remains to that crematory is still fighting to get his mother's ashes back.
First off, I want my mom back, so we can get closure on that.
Dan Spanley and his family are among those suing crematories and cremation services in Northwest Indiana and here in Illinois after the Lake Station, Indiana man says his late mother's remains were mishandled.
My kids ask me whenever it comes up in their head, like, hey, when are we getting grandma back? And I got to explain to them the best that I can that there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I can't give them a definite answer on that.
67-year-old Lisa Spanley died on October 27, 2024, after a long illness. Dan Spanley says he paid $800 to Crown Cremation Service in Crown Point, Indiana, and Heights Crematory in Chicago Heights, Illinois, to cremate his mother's remains. But instead of properly preparing his mother's remains and returning them to the family, he says they did nothing. Today, attorneys representing Spanley and dozens of other families announced more cases after others have come forward.
They expect that the funeral home or crematory will fulfill their obligations in a sacred manner, and this has been a gross disruption of that process.
So far, a Chicago law firm teamed up with the Indianapolis-based one to file more than 30 cases claiming improper storage and commingling of remains, and in some cases, families getting incorrect remains or no remains at all.
This isn't something that people tend to do on every five bodies, we're going to do it wrong. Usually it's a pattern of practice, and there's a reason to believe that they treat several bodies this way. This is what they're doing across the board.
Heights Crematory, which has been shut down by the state after bodies were discovered stacked outside a trailer, could not be reached for comment. Also named in the lawsuits are Crown Cremation Service, along with Castle Hill Funeral in Dyer, Indiana. Both declined to comment on the pending lawsuits. The next hearing about the crematory's fate is scheduled for June 24th. Little comfort to families who still have not been able to lay their loved ones to rest.